Hey guys, about to play round two in a Magic Origins draft. We lost in round one. Our deck performed pretty well, but we still lost. A close game in round three, and a close game in game one too. Game three, I mean, and we won game two. But we're gonna mulligan. Obviously, we got a one lander. Can't really keep that. Um, this isn't a whole lot better, but I think I have to keep it. I have some turns to draw green, and I have a 3-drop even if I don't. So, all right, and we did it. So I feel even better now. Play Water Courser first. What's our opponent got for us? Shambling Ghoul, okay. He's a good 2-drop, but oh, Nissa, hey. Now I think we. I don't know if I do play her on turn 3. I might. I need the land badly enough. Um, she'll probably get removed, but you know, that's okay, I guess. See what our opponent does. Right, Orchard Spirit. I think I want to lead with Water Courser, maybe try to draw out the removal, and it can block the Ghoul just fine, so it's a good body right now. I can play the Empath next turn, and I can play Nissa. I could also play Nissa next turn, depending on how things go. But if I hit a land drop, I can play everything in my hand, and she doesn't put it into play, she just puts it into your hand, right? Yes, so she doesn't help me ramp or anything, so I don't want to risk her yet when her flipping can be pretty massive. Alright, well, no sense in not blocking with it now. So we'll just block the Ghoul and take 2. Okay, yeah, I just play Elvish Visionary. Well, do I play Llanowar Empath instead? I think I play the Empath. Hope we hit a land, and then we can play Nissa and the Visionary next turn, or some other combination thereof. So we'll play our Empath. We actually do want this Forest. So we can do 2 things with green creatures at the same time. I don't necessarily need this, though. I will put that on top, though. And in the turn, drawing a card could have been good there, but we do actually need land, a 5th land for Rock Smallers, but or in a 5th forest, I mean a 2nd forest to do some other stuff with our cards. We'll just take 4 here. I'd probably just try to play the Maulers first, since it can end the onslaught my opponent is currently delivering. Deadbridge Shaman, yeah. Alright. Not too scary. Hit that forest. And we play our big Rock Smallers. He doesn't actually have, he's missed a land drop. He doesn't have the 5th land for the big 5-mana removal spell that can kill Rock Smallers. So that's pretty good. If he does have Wild Instincts, though, he can use the Shambling Ghoul to kill my Rock Smallers. So that's not so good. So we need 7 lands, right, for her to flip. Ideally, we can just search her, have her search out the last land, and then flip her. She can immediately make a 4/4 token to help us block. All right, we take the 2. So I'm leaning towards playing the Force Mage to really complicate things in combat math. What's my opponent doing? Oh, he's just, yeah, I do that sometimes too. Start trying to cast something. That means it's probably something exciting, though, and scary. He did get his 5th land, so. No, it's just an Antuco Husk, which is, in fact, scary, like the amount of lethal that can potentially do to us. is not great. Okay. So that's our 6th land. Next turn we can play Nissa and Flipper. I'm going to play the Force Mage first to pump up our Rocks Maulers and swing with it. If he makes us discard a card here with the Deadbridge Shaman, I'll discard the Elvish Visionary. And yeah, so that's what I'll do. If he doesn't make us discard a card, I'll play the Visionary because it can just it'll draw us another card that we can discard if we decide to block the Deadbridge Shaman, for example. We're probably going to block Nantuko Husk, though. We're going to have to, which is an okay block. It makes him sacrifice a creature, and then Deadbridge Shaman can do its work again. So I think we played the Visionary. Visionary can also block the Deadbridge Shaman, and it draws me a card to replace itself, so it's not too bad. Ooh, Undercity Troll. Okay. He's an 8/8. Too bad he doesn't stay that big, huh? Okay, so you can also draw cards with Nissa. But chances are I'll probably want to be making an elemental token. I'll be able to play Undercity Troll and Nissa, if he doesn't make me discard a card here, that is. And that's pretty good. There's this Onyeva's Force Mage, which is not good. We really need one of our flyers to block this freaking thing. Can creatures with reach block Orchard Spirit? Yeah, maybe I bring in my Hitchclaw Recluse. I mean, it's a little bit of an overreaction against the, that card, but could end up being relevant. Okay. That is annoying. I'm probably going to chump it with my Elvish Visionary. See what he does here. Okay, so I actually think I block here now. And then I also block here to force him to do something. And I block here. So chances are he sacrifices the Deadbridge Shaman and we lose our Troll. We go to 8. The Shambling Ghoul lives forever. He may want to kill my Elvish Visionary, I guess, but yeah, that makes more sense. All right, so goodbye, Troll. I mean, the Troll could be pretty good for us right now, but I feel like Nissa can get us back in it even better. So maybe I'm just, excited about actually playing her, but, So our Elvish Visionary survives another day to chump block a Nantuko Husk, and that is not irrelevant, so... Okay. So we're going to swing with Rocks Maulers. If he has a trick to kill it, it's going to be a little sad, but... Alright, take him to 8. Then we'll play... So whenever I play land... Yeah, so I'll play Nissa. Get a forest. Play a forest. She flips. She will die almost immediately. Basically, all she'll have done is made us a 4/4 because of Orchard Spirit. I mean, maybe it's worth it more. Maybe it's more worth it to draw a card because we can chump the Nantuko Husk. Ashaya having the 4/4 token does put pressure on him, though. It's a hard decision here. I mean, if we draw a card and it's a creature, we're really happy. If we draw a card and it's a land, we're not real happy. And he can kill her anyway. So it's kind of putting things At least this way we get a 4/4 out of the deal, I guess, is what I'm saying. You know, it's basically like we paid 3 for a 4/4 on turn 7, but the 4/4 is pretty good. And it also means 2 damage from this won't be coming our way. So yeah, we'll put the 4/4 into play. I mean, if we draw a creature next turn, then, especially one we could have cast, I'll regret that decision, but I think that's the best probability decision. You know, there's a good chance we hit a land or creature we can't cast if we decide to draw a card. All right. You can also just block the Husk and force him to sack 2 things to it with the Ashaya. He has to sack, well, he can sack 1 thing to it to trade, so. But Nis is probably dead here, depending on what my opponent chooses to do. Okay, well, I'm okay with that. The more conservative approach from our opponent means getting the 4/4 into play did put enough pressure on him that he's ceasing his attack from being quite as ferocious as it has been. Okay, we could have played that, and it would have been pretty great, actually. So it's a little crappy. I think we swing with Rock Maulers and Ashaya, since we can play Aspiring Aeronauts as backup, and we make him do, you know, we make him use a card or 2 if he has them, and if he doesn't have them, then things work out okay for us, I think. Because he has to sack something, so it'll be like a 2-for-1 for the if he wants to block with the Husk. If he has a trick, then that's kind of a problem, but I think we force it. I think we want to be aggressive here. We have 2 chump blockers that we're going to make, so. Okay, that's not something I thought about when I should have thought about it. I guess we take out the Ghoul. That does take him to 2, which means our 2 flyers, which can also block the Orchard Spirit, by the way, can finish him next turn. All right, play our Aspiring Aeronaut. Get 2 bodies in the sky, which is lethal for our opponent. Hold on to this land. Pretend like we've got like Disperse or something, which we do not in fact have. But I chump the Nantuko Husk with the Elvish Visionary. I don't think I block anything else. There is some chance he's like Titanic Growth, but which we, you know, in round 1 we did lose to double combat trick. That just was enough, just enough to kill us for lethal because I was unsure about blocking. But what's he playing for all this mana? Don't be a Sky Snare, or not Sky Snare, Spider. What is it called? The spider we have. That one. The big 6/6 Sentinel Spider, is that what it's called? Necromantic Summons. Okay, that's pretty good. He just stole my Nissa. But he doesn't get the flipper, and he doesn't have a way to block my 2 flyers, so I think he's kind of just fooling around. Oh, he does get the flipper. So is what I know. That may give him exactly the mana he needs for like Titanic Growth, but he would have had it anyway. So she actually comes back into play under my control because of the way she works, so that works for me. But maybe he desperately needed the land. Now that I have her, though, I don't have any problem blocking with all 3 of these on his. Yeah, because she says exile it and return it to its owner's control. So yeah, I think he's kind of just fooling around because he was going to be dead anyway. That's kind of a funny thing to do, but maybe not. Maybe he had a stratagem in mind, and because he might have had, Titanic Growth, I would have triple blocked there. And with 2 mana left, he can't beat my Rock Maulers plus another Ashaya or an extra card I draw or whatever. So, all right, 1 game 1. Is there anything we want to do after game 1? We didn't see any huge bomb creatures that I really want to bone to ash. But in green, he may have a Sky Snare Spider or something like it. But we'll just go back in with this thing. And yeah, I don't think, I mean, the only two cards I really ever will sideboard here is probably Hitchclaw Recluse and Bone to Ash. Nivix Barrier really rarely, but those two I side in all the time when I put them in my decks. Hitchclaw Recluse against, lots of problem flyers, and Bone to Ash against my opponent if I see a big bomb creature in the first game and I know I can't beat it any other way, and we really can't in this deck other than Claustrophobia. So Bone to Ash is pretty important. Pretty good sideboard card if you're in blue. I wouldn't main board it usually. Although you saw, I think it was in last week's draft that I recorded. This is a great hand. You saw the guy who played like a control deck and almost managed to beat me in the finals, but we ended up beating him and going 3-0. So it can work. That guy showed me that it is possible to make it to the finals with a deck loaded with counter spells because so few people take them in this format. So, all right. 2-drop. Putrid Imp, okay. Annoying, but better than a lot of other 2-drops. Like turn 2 Undercity Troll wouldn't have been real cool for us. We'll play our Visionary. Alright, nice combat trick. We don't currently have anything to do on turn 3, so that's a little not awesome. But Llanowar Empath can help us hit some things we really want here shortly. Okay, there's that monstrosity again that ran rampant on us in the last game. If I don't have anything else to do, I may swing into that thing with my Elvish Visionary. I mean, I can't block either of these anyway, and try to kill it with Titanic Growth. Yeah, we don't have anything else to do, so let's do that. Although my Aspiring Aeronauts can block it, yeah, I don't know if I want to use up Titanic Growth, to be honest, when I can use it on a much more high-value creature later. Yeah, we're not going to. Would have been a little reckless, I think. So we will just, I think, probably play our Empath next turn. Force Mage. Yeah, that's going to hurt. We can use Titanic Growth here. Oh, no, we can't. We can't block either of those creatures. So we're just going to take 5 this turn. I'm thinking about playing Aspiring Aeronaut first, since it can just double block that thing and kill it, and I don't lose both creatures. And that seems like better value than using one of my Titanic Growths on it. So I do take 3 the way if things go that way. Might just be better to play Llanowar Empath to trade with his Force Mage. It also sets up some better draws for me, so I think that's what I do. Just play the Empath. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll put that on the bottom, put this on top, draw our card, which is the card we just put on top, and end our turn. I'll just trade here. If this guy really ends up being a problem later, like he was in the last game, almost bringing us to our deaths, then I'll put Claustrophobia or Titanic Growth to kill it. Okay, that is a pretty big play right now. Let's him hit us for 5. I don't really want to chump right now. I'll just take 5 and go to 9. I think we just play our Maulers. It can put an end to some of these shenanigans at least. At least the Yevva's Force Mage won't be able to swing, and it puts pressure on him. And this can't block anything, so what the hell? I mean, it can block the Force Mage, but let's get in for 1 and end the turn. If he's got more removal for our Rock Maulers, we're probably losing this game. If he doesn't, things look pretty all right. Even if he has removal, we have some chance because we have Aspiring Aeronaut as a big play. So right now, 5 mana probably means removal. Yep. All right. So we take 5, go to 4. So I think what I do here is play Aspiring Aeronauts. Ooh, that can gain me some life, which isn't irrelevant right now. But yeah, we're definitely in a bad way in this game. Yeah, we still play Aspiring Aeronauts. I mean, it can actually block the stuff he has, so whereas nothing else we can do can. And we also have Titanic Growth as a trick, so we can take out, we can double block here, and maybe use Titanic Growth if we want to, especially if he tries to use a trick. And he's down to 1 card in his hand, so if we can just turn this corner and also get rid of that imp, we'll be pretty happy. Because that imp, at this point is some pretty big damage. More removal. Ooh, Force Mage. Yeah, okay. Good news is we have Titanic Growth as sort of an answer to whatever he decides to make difficult for us, and then we can just Claustrophobia the other creature with evasion. That looks like what we're going to have to do, so Visionary will chump here. I'll just chump the... I have to, obviously. So we'll take 1 in the air. I think we double block here and use Titanic Growth to save both our guys. We can't save both of them, no matter what we do. So never mind. We can save our Elvish Visionary, and maybe that's worth doing. So we go like this. We go like this. I mean, it's not only saving our Elvish Visionary, it's getting rid of a problem creature, which all creatures are at this point when our life is this low. Not as big a problem as this, but we can Claustrophobia that next turn. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so I think I do Titanic Growth here. Save my elf and get rid of his creature. We take 1 in the process. He's down to 2 creatures, and then next turn we have a pretty good turn, and our opponent is down to 1. So we may actually turn things around here. Turn to Frog actually isn't bad right now either. I think I play the Herald of the Pantheon. I'm going to gain 1 life, and we have to put Claustrophobia on that, which is really annoying, but we have Turn to Frog. Well, maybe I hold on to Turn to Frog instead and use that and then just make it ram into my Herald of the Pantheon. But the Claustrophobia gaining us life is pretty relevant, like, with the amount of stuff he has right now. I think I'd rather... Turn to Frog is just less value, so I think I'd rather use Turn to Frog on it than anything else. So we're just going to pass the turn, hope we can turn the corner here, hold on to our Claustrophobia to take care of a Sky Snare Spider or something. That may be another removal spell. Ooh, not removal, but pretty bad for us. Let's hope he doesn't hit a creature, basically. We saw that and thought about taking it, but we didn't. We've still... I mean, he's going to gain a bunch of life and probably draw a bunch of cards. But for next turn, we're in pretty decent shape. We still basically have to use Turn to Frog here to kill his Fetid Imp. Maybe he didn't hit any creatures. He's putting things on the bottom. Surely he hit something, even if it's only like a Hitchclaw Recluse. Yeah, on top. So what did he hit? Vastwood Gorger. That's what you want to hit with that. All right. It's going to be much harder for us to climb this mountain now, but we can still give it a shot. I'm sure he drew all gas is the bad news, but we do have ways of dealing with things. And we do still need to kill this Fetid Imp, as sad as that is. Okay. He's not interested in attacking. I don't blame him. Okay, so I think I play Elvish Visionary first. I said Elvish Visionary, and then I was doing something completely different. So yeah, Elvish Visionary first. See what we hit with that. Gives us more options should we draw, like, a big creature that we want to play. And that's not a big creature we want to play, but it's a good one. We kind of want to leave mana up for Turn to Frog still. And we can, even if we play that guy. So Herald trades there, so it's not really a good attack. We don't really have any good attacks. I may just play Llanowar Empath instead to try to set up some of our own good draws, but that doesn't leave Turn to Frog up. But we can just block the Fetid Imp if we really feel like that's a problem. So yeah, I think we just play the Llanowar Empath. Try to match his gas, you know, but he's in a much better place in the game, so it's going to be hard. Ooh, Bounding Crassus is nice. So we're going to put this on the bottom, put this on top, and we'll draw our Crassus, and we'll end the turn. We can't play Turn to Frog, but, you know, for our opponent, we'll block the Fetid Imp no matter what, just because it's so, you know, with all the cards he drew, chances aren't bad that he can just go Titanic Growth or Titanic Growth and kill us. That's also a pretty good way of killing us, but we do control 2 elves, so it's less good than it looks. We control 3 elves, actually, so I'm not too worried. We'll probably Claustrophobia Vastwood Gorger, should it appear. Oh, man. Well, we lose that one. We've lost 2 games to, like, you know, pretty bad. You know, things turned pretty bad for us. Shaman of the Pack to hit us for exactly 3. If we'd left 1 mana untapped, we could have turned to Frogged and lived for at least another turn to turn one of his creatures into not an elf, but we couldn't, so. Okay, game 3. Do I do anything different? No, I mean, his Big Bomb we saw isn't really a creature. Vastwood Gorger doesn't worry me that much. His Big Bomb is a spell we would like negate for, but we didn't pick any up. So on to game 3. Our games have all been, although that game wasn't especially close, it did look like we were just about to turn a corner before he got off that Nissa's Revelation. So it felt like we were back in the driver's seat and then immediately taken out of it. So this hand is one where if we draw lands, it goes really well. If we don't, it goes really badly. We have a 5-drop, a 3-drop, 1 of each color. I think we mulligan. This is, I guess, better, but not by a lot. It's actually probably about the same, but we don't want to go to 5, so this draft may not end up going very well on the whole. Okay, what we really want to draw is land, or, you know, a creature we can play. Nissa wouldn't be bad. Fetches us a land. Okay, that's pretty nice. Let's play Elvish Visionary, try to hit a land. We didn't hit a land, but we did draw a way to stall a little bit. We also have Titanic Growth, so if we get a land, we actually end up doing pretty close to curving out if we hit like land, and our opponent seems stuck on 2, so his life's not a whole lot better than ours. Okay, we hit the land we wanted, and Elvish Visionary is going to get in there. And then we're going to put 2 bodies in the sky with our Aspiring Aeronaut. And if we can just keep hitting lands, we get to go Rock Smaller, Sky Snare Spider, and it's going to be pretty hard for our opponent to beat that, especially if he keeps missing land drops. Okay, he just scooped. You know, we had a pretty slow clock on him if we didn't draw a land. Were we going to draw a land? We weren't, but it was a creature we could play. And then Nissa, yeah, okay. He was probably right to scoop if he was mana screwed. So, sucks for our opponent, but we managed to win this round. So we have a chance to go 2-1, which would be great. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in round 3.